Evolved. The first track on the original From a Capo to a Dawn served as the opening to my first mixtape ever. Released in August 2015, I was just coming off from like a 2-year period of not recording or making any music whatsoever. And how fucking conveniently that was named. Because looking back on it, that has turned into a cliche, especially in terms of my YouTuber days, because I'm the guy who's known for a million different comebacks, because I fell off. I didn't want to be a YouTuber anymore, essentially, so I turned to music, and in terms of everything that's happened, it paid off. Hasn't paid off fully yet, but Evolved essentially was the turning point. It really was. That was the first track I actually produced, like I fully ever produced. And it's to this day, even though it is the first track I've produced, it's one of the best tracks I've produced. The beat is simple, it works, and so on and so forth. But this ain't the part for it. This is where we focus on the lyrics and the music and the story behind it. So, Evolved marked as the last comeback I was gonna make. I felt that way, and looking back on it in 2017, I guess I was right about it. It was the track where I essentially focused a lot on talking about what had happened these past years, and basically touched on what was gonna happen. And there's an iconic line in Evolved where I compare alcohol to hand sanitizers. Booze is just a chemical, which is something I touched on in Behold, the opening track to From a Capo to a Dawn 2, a year later. But that turned into an iconic line because that was around the time when I didn't drink at all, and I felt very, how should I put this? I felt like I didn't ever want to touch that bottle in my life. Long and behold, as we saw on Selling My Soul on From a Capo to a Dawn 2, I was dead wrong about it. But at that time it felt so strong, and I to this day I still see it as a chemical. And it's used in hand sanitizer, so that's how the story came about of that particular line. And the second part about it was, interesting fact about it was that it's almost, it is essentially a 7-minute track where it has 3 really long verses, a couple of hooks, and an outro. But even though it's 7 minutes, at least in my own opinion, it still works. Because the story was that long. It had been that long since I had touched the mic in any kind of way. So I felt like I really had something to say, and I really did have